Hey guys, Arius here, just giving you a good old hot update on Abysswalkers, kind of where we're at and how things are moving along here as we get close to our alpha launch. So what you're seeing here is after you open up the game, you're going to come to a login screen, and you will, if you don't have an account yet, you're going to need to create an account. So you just click this, go to create your account. Obviously have the ability to, if you forget your password, do that. There's different ways to log in. So if you have you can log in with your Twitter, your Discord, or your Steam. But other than that, once you have your username and your password, you will use those and log in. And once you log in, you'll reach the home screen and you'll see this. The first thing you might notice is this news feed, and so this will be kind of where we post updates or other graphics and things that we want to promote something or kind of draw your attention to something, maybe like Lord's Workshop, maybe there's a tournament or something, and we post that here, and you'll be able to scroll through and see all those, and they'll be in order of dates and all that stuff. So currently we just have an example of patch notes. This graphic is not the graphic, and currently it's kind of bugged out, but you kind of get the idea of what this would look like. So you see that you'd have your news feed, you click on it, you see what's in it, and there you go. Then towards the bottom right here, you're going to see the rest of your dashboard, and this you'll be able to click on your Grim here, your summoner, and see all of your Grims that you own in your connected wallet. And you'll be able to select whatever one you want. So let's say I want to be this guy. It will change to that guy. And by default, you'll have these four kind of basic Grims that kind of fit each class. And then the black themed Grim here that isn't towards a class, but just fun to have. So you just have four here that you can pick and be. So we can be this guy here. Then over here, you're going to see more of your profile and kind of your stats and things. You'll have the options to change the language you have the game in, pick your server once we get more servers, if the game becomes large enough for that. You'll see the collection, how much of the collection you own, games played, and rank stuff, your win rate and things like that. And then this button here, you'll have your match history. So you can go in and see what games you've played, what deck you were using, and who won those matches. And eventually you'll be able to watch them, kind of look back and see, and then also be able to click on the deck, pull up the deck lists. You'll be able to click on the profile of the person, go look at their profile, see their stuff, and things like that. So that's kind of cool. Hit the X, you get out of that. Then the gear icon, you have settings, which you just have standard settings. Your graphics and your sound settings, your way to log out and quit. And there is music in the game currently, so there's just some sounds. We're starting to add sounds to the game. And there's some sound effects that cards will make and things like that. But for now, I'm going to turn the music off so you can hear me better. Then you can hit up the cards menu. And so in the cards menu, you're going to see all the cards that we have currently in the game. And for alpha, we're just going to start everyone off with a full set of cards. In the actual game, you'll have to buy packs, open them, and get the cards, or trade or buy them on a secondary marketplace, things like that, to get the cards. And so, but for testing purposes, for alpha purposes, all that stuff, you're going to have full access to the cards, and so we can kind of see where the game's at balance-wise and things like that when you have a full set. Something else you might notice here is I have skins on my cards. So you can actually hop in here, end up changing your skin here. If you actually own some in your wallet, they'll show up, and you can move back and forth between them. Yeah, just some examples here. So you can do this and this, and put that guy back. Yeah. So yeah, so you can skin your cards if you own the skins in your wallet. You'll be able to do that, and you'll see a couple different options here for filters to look through the collection. you'll be able to pick your own cards, your missing cards, and your unowned cards. So you can kind of know, filter that down. This up here is just your demons versus your runes. And if you want to get them back, you click on the one you're selected. Then down here, you have your mana cost. So you can kind of filter that out, select multiple versions. You have your classes. You can select and filter down to, and then the rarities of cards. So that's all the filters, which helps with deck building. And so with deck building, you can create a new deck. You can make a deck name, so new deck, right? And then you can start adding in whatever cards you want in your deck. You'll have stats show up over here, and if you hover over it, you'll get some more information about what's in your deck, and things like that. Something else that's cool is you can then change your card back. So if you click on this, it comes in here, and you can then pick a different color card back. So if you want it to be black, purple, whatever you're feeling. So then we can update that and hit done, and now it's updated. That is pretty much it for the cards page. If you go to the play screen, you're going to see 4 starter decks. You're going to have 4 starter decks. And then you'll be able to pick which deck you want to play with, and then hop into a match. For an update on some in-game UI, we now have movement indications that show up on tiles to help you know which slots you can move to. There's little footprints. We also have class indications within your deck next to your username on the nameplate, so you can see what is in your deck and what is in your opponent's deck of like what classes they could be using, and you could use that to your competitive advantage. There's also now like ability hovers or keyword hovers, basically where if you hover over a card in a deck list or your hand or on the board, it will now pop up with what that keyword means, and so you can learn more about it. There is in combat, if your guy or the enemy would be killed by that combat, you'll see a Scully icon replace their health to now know that will cause their death. Another little indication to your dashboard is the hand size indication, so you can see this on yours and your opponent's, which will let you know your max hand size and the point at which you will end up burning a card. And then also in the grave list, you'll now have little icons next to the cards in there showing you how they got in there, if they died or if they're burned from drawing too much or if you discarded them and things like that. And probably one of the cooler updates is the fireball animation and sound effect that is now in the game when you play your Infernal. And as far as things that we are working on and already have plans to implement, I just want to show you some designs and some things that we have in the works. So this here is the versus screen, and this is basically just a screen that will show up to show you who you're versing and then the classes that you're up against that are in their deck. So just something that's pretty standard in card games that will be coming there. Then we also have a Mulligan UI update, so we're changing how that's going to look, just a little bit more fresh and feel more like integrated into the board. That'll be the Mulligan, and then also like any sort of search ability like the Pingor, as those kind of get more cards filled out that have that. That's how that will look. Then some contesting UI updates, some combat UI where the contesting is a little bit brighter, it glows to kind of draw your attention to it that you're contested or you are contesting something. And then the arrows in combat will grow and show you that you have an attack available. And if you are able to ambush something, then it will show you that by turning yellow, just to kind of help the user experience a little bit. Another thing is we got some feedback that it's hard to tell the difference between your units or demons and the enemy demons. And so having a specific demon border or card border, tile border for the enemy, so that's going to be a little bit different color, kind of separate your demons and their demons on board, because the red and blue slot indication is not, I guess, visible enough to really bring that out, and this should help separate the two.
as you were fighting. As I mentioned before, we have the grave icons, and some of those are missing, and some new ones will be coming, like the discard one, and if you play something, and it just goes to the grave like a rune, then those will have icons of how they got into the grave, and that's updated. And then also the kind of UI of how the grave list is looking, and actually having a X button so you know how to close it. Wasn't very obvious before how to get out of it, so then that has been updated, and it takes up more of the screen now, so you can have more information there. And so some of the keyword stuff doesn't have hovers yet because the icons weren't made, and so those have been designed and ready to be implemented, and those should be in there by the time we launch here. But here are those, and what those are looking like. There's the summon, the play, the exercise, ability keywords, and those icons and how those look. And probably the coolest thing that we have going on right now that is being implemented as we speak, it's fully designed out, and Lothar is putting in the game right now, is the tutorial. This is how it looks. You come to this main screen, this menu, where you'll have a little intro message prompting you to fight Nico, one of the one-on-one demons. You will learn a little bit about the game from a very basic stance, and then as you progress through these characters, they'll teach you a little bit more about different mechanics, different effects, and how things work, introducing these new mechanics into the game, making it a little more complex every time you beat one until you get the full game experience and you're thrown into a final match against Tashadar where you choose a deck and then you battle it out and see if you can win. And this is being put in the game right now. This is the last thing that needs to be done before the alpha can launch, so people can have a way to learn it without us having to tell them or them reading some document. So we are very close to be able to launch an early version of this game that everyone can have access to. But for those of you with Grims and Demons, you'll be able to connect your wallet, load those into the game, use those as skins, and show them off to the people as you take them down in battle. And I can't wait for you guys to try it and see what you think. With that, I'll leave you with this little teaser.